So your graphics card is broken. Like, it might not be displaying. There's artifacts on the screen. There's something wrong. Well, you've come to the right place. Let's get into it. So today I'm just going to be going through my my methodology of how I go through trying to see if a graphics card works and how I go about fixing said problems. Now this one just doesn't work because it's got a physical problem with the BIOS chip, so I can't do anything about it. But your card probably is not the same problem. So a quick rundown. If your card it can boot into Windows, but is experiencing weird artifacts on the screen, or it doesn't want to launch a game. Now, it might be overheating if it doesn't want to launch a game, or it doesn't want to game for very long. It might be overheating if you've got a dusty situation. Just keep watching. But if there are artifacts and stuff on the screen, I do recommend you flash the BIOS or use an older driver. Try using an older driver first, see if that works, because flashing the BIOS can potentially break the card if you do it wrong. So, again, I'm going to say it, if you're experiencing weird artifacts on the screen, or, it's just not launching games, or apps crash for no reason, get older drivers or flash the BIOS, because that is usually what helps with this. So let's get on to the rest of the video. So without further ado, let's actually get into the physical part of today, where we actually see what's going on with the card. So first thing I would like you to do is get a screwdriver that fits the size of the screws that hold in the fan, and just unscrew the fan. So this fan is connected via 3 screws, and it also has a connection over here. There's a connection here. Just have to. I hate this type of connection. So we got the fan out for the this specific 750 Ti. Fans are usually held in by 3 screws. So that's the first thing you're going to want to do. Second thing is to take off the shroud. You can see there are 4 screws holding the shroud in. In my case, in other cards' cases, go check out GN, Gamers Nexus. They have very, very helpful teardown guides, and you would probably find your card on there, most likely. Go 3 and number 4. And that should, okay, there we go. Got the heatsink off. So now check to see if everything is okay with your graphics card. Make sure that everything, try and see if anything here is out of place. Anything, and no matter how small it is, if it's out of place, it might actually be what's wrong. If it's out of place or looks like there's something missing, try get a photo from the manufacturer website of the PCB of the card from front and back. Now, once you have all that done, what I would like to do is come here. I have these wipes that are not electrically conductive, which is good. Make sure these are not electrically conductive. They don't have any electrically conductive materials on them. And just what I recommend you do anytime you take off the shroud is replace the thermal paste. You can not, I mean, you don't have to, but it's just something I tend to do anytime I take off the shroud. Kind of rub off the thermal paste and put on some new thermal paste. I have Arctic MX4, which is really good thermal paste. I definitely recommend. So once that is done, I guess your options are now to clean it, like thoroughly clean it. Using this wipe, for example, is what I use. Just clean it as best as you can in all areas. Try to get under as much things as you can. For example, with me, I'm just going to be just thoroughly scrubbing it in as many places as possible. Just go through everything, because sometimes dust can get under like the RAM chips, and that can be pretty bad. Oh yeah, quick thing, if you are going to be replacing the thermal paste, make sure you also take off the thermal paste on the heatsink. Yeah, I've seen people do that mistake where they just put more thermal paste and slap this back on. So yeah, quick note there. So, once you've got everything cleaned, try and dry it to the best of your ability. So I'm going to go dry it right now. If you do have like a hair dryer or a heat gun, that would help. So I'll be back. Now, if you do happen to have a brush, I would recommend you also do this with a brush rather than one of these, or maybe use one of these and just brush it down right after, because a brush can get into crevices that this does not get into. So I'm just gonna go to cleaning the shroud and fan just for the sake of cleaning it, to be honest. So yeah. Alright, so I'm fully finished cleaning everything on this card. I even done the back side, which in my opinion didn't need to be done anyways. It was fully clean, there's nothing wrong with it. But, so, at this point in time, I would recommend you put everything back together and try to see if it works. So, let's start putting it back together. So, heatsink goes in first. Let's see, yeah, heatsink is this way. Yep, this is how it goes. Forgot the thermal paste. You know? Okay, so I got me some Arctic MX4 thermal paste. Definitely recommend. It's a brilliant thermal paste. I cannot recommend any thermal paste more than that because it's a great price to performance, to be honest. It's fantastic. So, let's get us some thermal paste on there before we do anything else. There we go. Got those. Now, get the 4 screws and before and just start screwing them in. I tend to just screw in one screw properly, and then screw in the diagonal screw as well. Just cause, I mean, you could do it like 1, 2, 3, 4, and like slowly turn it, but this works just as well. It applies even pressure either way. I just like to have one fully screwed in, especially in this case. So we have the heatsink installed correctly, and now fans are cleaned, shroud is clean as can be. So first thing to put on will be the shroud. You have to try to put it on correctly. Alright, now once the shroud is on, you know, you got the same 4 screws. It's different for every graphics card. There might be another one with 4 screws. There might be one with 12 screws, like with some of the bigger cards. So, last thing, the fan. Now, if the fan is the broken thing, you would have to get the exact same model of fan. In our case, or in this case, Zotac GTX 750 Ti, they have like 2 models with the same shroud and fan. I think it's one with DisplayPort and one with a second DVI port, I'm pretty sure. And we have, it's called the 128015-SM1EP, 12 volt, 0.3 amps. It's pretty good to know, I guess. So let's get the fan installed. Now, what I do recommend you do is, if it does post, I told you already, reset the BIOS or try older drivers. If that doesn't work, clean it. That's really all you can really do. Clean it to the best of your ability, and or you can go get a fix. I guess it's another option. Just sell it as a broken for parts card. So that's how I do things here. I just go through as many things as possible. What I tried to do to get it to work was go through some settings in my BIOS. Sometimes with these cards you can disable safe boot, I think it is. You can disable safe boot. That would usually allow it to work, but in my case, no. It's completely bricked. It's a BIOS problem. I have to completely resolder a new BIOS chip on. It kind of sucks, but yeah. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, I hope you had a fun time. I hope you learned something, especially. I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.